it's amazing. When you come to talk about the play, when you're in rehearsal, you get so into the thick of the woods of the piece, right? You're looking at every tiny little moment. So these opportunities are so interesting to kind of sit back and think about, well, what is it as a whole? How does this live as an entirety of a piece, you know? And what's really interesting, I think what Joe is saying, is that Much Ado About Nothing lives already in the universe. We're all really familiar with it. I love the kind of call and response. How many of you have seen or read Much Ado About Nothing? Oh my God! Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, this is my first time working at OSF, but I remember the summer when I came to visit, I was sitting in an audience, I think I was watching The Tempest, and the way you guys as an audience listen is remarkable, right? You guys are listening so intensely. You're beat to beat, hearing the language and the events that are happening in the play, and that's so thrilling as a director, to know that you guys are listening that intensely, because then every choice becomes really specific, right? Every choice becomes weighed against your experiences of who Beatrice and Benedict are, or who Claudio and Hero are. And that for me is really exciting. Another thing that Bill had mentioned earlier is that how thrilling is it that the new play is set in the Victorian era, right? And Much Ado About Nothing is set in the present, which is where I'm setting it, you know? A play that's 400 years old still has relevance for us, right? There's something in that narrative that's still alive and vibrating. And for me, what's so thrilling about Much Ado About Nothing is that it's a mature comedy, right? It's a thorny comedy. You know, there's Beatrice and Benedict, who we love because they're so intelligent, so smart. Their sparring is so electric, right? Because of their intelligence. And yet there's always this little bit of unease of what's happening with Claudio and Hero, right? Particularly when we hit the wedding, right? And that for me, the thorniness of that, the combination of comedy and tragedy that align in that play, that in some ways Claudio and Hero's tragedy is what allows for the coming together of Beatrice and Benedict, is what's thrilling about the complicatedness of Much Ado About Nothing. So for me, that's what we've really been digging into. How do those two narrative arcs come together? And it's in many ways about community, right? That's what all comedies do. I was talking to Louis the other day. The necessity for comedy to exist is in the largeness of community, right? That there needs to be a sense of how people are responding to the people who are at the center in order for us to know what's funny and what's not, right? We were working in rehearsal the other day with Beatrice and Benedict, the first time they meet, and they have that spar, right, between each other. And the rest of the characters on stage were like this. And they were like, this isn't funny, this is terrible, what is happening? It's because the community needs to tell us how we see who Beatrice and Benedict are, right? We are the ones that kind of decide what love is real and what love is fractured. So that's been a really interesting discovery. Also in the community, one of the amazing things that I found in this production with an amazing actor, Rex Young, is Dogberry, right? Dogberry has become one of my favorite characters of all time. And in this world where there's a lot of deceit, where there's a lot of play acting, where there's a lot of deception, you find Dogberry just open-hearted and sincere, speaking from the truth all the way from the beginning. And that was really moving to me. That's something that I hadn't discovered before in this play. That's really amazing when you have a company of actors, particularly like those at OSF that know the play, that have a familiarity and are interested in seeking new ways of exploring the part. Guys, I just want to get up and dance, guys. Like, we're all here, you know, woo. So I'm excited to know here, sorry, just like you guys all there, I kind of want to make you all just like do the wave. Yeah, those guys know what they're doing. Yeah, like, let's just do it. Yeah. Woo! Yeah, it's more fun in numbers. So, yeah, there's going to be a lot of fun in Much Ado. It's a crazy, complicated play. It's a whirlwind of events, and that's it for now. Thank you, guys.